Hello, namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome. Welcome to our deck deep dive series. And this particular episode is not a members only feature. I've chosen to make the final episode of the Margaret Petersen public so that you can all kind of peer into what's going on in the deck deep dive series. And it has been an absolute amazing journey with the Margaret Petersen. And to tell you the truth, I could be carrying this on for several more weeks, but I am being urged to move on to a new deck. And next week, we will be beginning a deck deep dive with the Herb Crafter's Tarot. And this is the deck. And a lot of people are familiar with the creator Joanna Powell Colbert through the Gaian Tarot. Her method of artwork is absolutely unique, and it's really beautiful. The co-creation with Letitia Guthrie it's amazing. I am really looking forward to this deck deep dive. We're going to start next week looking at the corianderas. I may have put an extra syllable in there. In this deck, they would be the suit of the kings. These are the, I suppose, the shamans of herbology. These are the teachers, the wise ones, the leaders, who are also the healers. And so I thought it would be great to start with the healers as our kind of our, the inspiration for the whole deck is to be with the healer. So that's the plan for that. And a couple other things. So with the deck deep dive series, it does alternate. It is for the 3rd, 4th, and sometimes the 5th Wednesday of the month. It is at 10 a.m. Pacific. And the 1st and 2nd Wednesday of the month, it is in the afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific. And this is to make it accessible all over the world. So that's why the time varies. So that's that. Yeah. And I really look forward to the next one. So let's put all our energy towards the Margaret Petersen, which has been so transformational for me. And I've really, I don't know, I can't say enough about this deck. I was going to start with the majors, but I think I want to start talking about the court cards of the earth element. And today we are reviewing all of the earth cards. Some I may not have touched on, or just very briefly. So we're going to look at the mother, father, daughter, and son of earth. And one of the things that you will notice is that the colors here, the colors are quite fiery. If you weren't familiar with the deck, you might mistake this particular suit of quartz for the suit of fire. The suit of fire quartz, I should have them handy, are, just give me 1 second, right here. They are perhaps a little more orange. And this is one, I would say this is one of the important reasons, while the artwork is very evocative. There's 3 of them anyway. So let's kind of do this. While the artwork is very evocative, it is abstract. And so the deck deep dive has been really kind of imperative in getting into the helpful in getting into the details of the artwork. So you can see that the quartz of fire here, 3 of them, are quite similar, a little more intense in the fire to the coins. Now the rest of the suit of the coins has more of a gold and earthy tone, but these ones actually do look, yeah. So just saying that. So I would definitely not cut off the keywords, the titles on these cards. These ones are trimmed. Okay. Something that I want to say hi. Hi. I didn't say hi to everybody. So welcome. Sharon is here and you stay for as long as you are able. Aliza, welcome. Tammy Ann, Saskia. Oh, I hope you feel much better. Well, Saskia, if you are able to join the channel and go through, this is the 15th video for this particular deck. It may offer some new insight into it. We've had a lovely, lovely journey with this deck, and today is the final video for the Margaret Petersen Tarot. So normally this is a members only feature. Okay. What struck me in these court cards was the deep level of Margaret Petersen's understanding of yogic principles. And while the yogic principles are not stated in the descriptions, they are they're detailed descriptively. So she's not naming anything, but she's describing the discipline of yoga quite profoundly through the energy of these courts. Now, the mother is a little bit different. So let's just start with the energy of mother, because I think this informs, and there's also a tremendous similarity between the energy of the Ace of Coins and the Mother of Coins in its completeness, in its allness, in its the way that it touches everything. So the Mother of Coins is a reminder of the concept of I'll use Sanskrit terms and then I'll try to explain them. So there's two terms. One is Purusha and one is Prakriti. There's different ways that this is explained, and Prakriti is all that is manifest. And the way that the Mother of Coins is described is that she is all that is manifest. She is the earth. She is the plants. She is the body, the human body. She is all of the bits and parts and everything that we can touch. Her energy penetrates everything that we see and everything that we are. And she is aware of, there's this sense of, throughout all of these courts, there's a sense of just a second. I want to read Tammy Ann's comment because I have an exact feeling a little melancholy about this being the last. Yes, this has been amazing. And I feel like I might do a special event or something with this deck. I don't know. I have been tremendously moved by it as well. So this concept of Prakriti, divine mother, the fact that all that is around us is God is goddess herself, really changes the way that we can respect and handle, so this is why the yogis, like, do no harm, is a principle. This is with the understanding of action and reaction, response, the consequences for our action is so very important, because everything that we touch is divine. And our physical body is often referred to as the temple. And so she is the one who is all that we see. It's just such a potent and beautiful description, the way that, and I don't know if you pick up on all that I see. She also knows the fullness of the experience. And I found that line very, very, very touching. So she is aware of the degrees with which we are connected with the abundance that is all around us, and she's also aware of scarcity. So the Mother of Coins takes on a real powerful Gaian goddess energy, one of I can't even find words for it. Just that she is all, she is one, and she is the divine. And I'm going to read to you from here. She is at the cradle, the one centered in herself, and she is the one who nurses. I gather, heal, and enjoy, and I influence that which has not yet manifested itself. I am the coiled up serpent at the base of the spine, and when the serpent uncoils, the grass trembles. Now, this is an important, isn't that interesting that we have the coiled up serpent then in the ace? So the coiled up serpent, so the Kundalini energy. For most people, the Kundalini energy has moved from the root chakra and is at its home in the waters of the second chakra. I find it fascinating, her level of awareness and understanding of yogic principles. So she is Shakti. Shakti is another name for the feminine principle. And she is ready to awaken us all. So what are we going to do with this card when it shows up in a reading? What I'm feeling here is that the essence is to understand the importance of the connection of all beings and all things. So if in a reading you were feeling unheard or detached or alone, she would be the energy of that which brings connection. It is probably, it's an all-encompassing mother energy. And then when we move into the other three earth court cards, we dive deep into something very different. So remember when we were discussing the suit of fire and how potent and the sexual energy was really important to that suit, not something that's often discussed in the little white book. But Margaret talked about how that fire energy is that level of passion is so potent, and her connection of the suit of fire with the suit of water was about creation and birth. And we can take this on many levels, not just a sexual one, but that's what fire is. And then she goes to the Father of Coins and completely describes him as a brahmacharya. Now, a brahmacharya is one who steps away from sexual chooses to not engage in sexual activity so that energy becomes contained. This is, and I can give you other examples as well too. So this concept of and I don't want to use the word restrain because that feels like there's a sense of something else is controlling me. There is a choice to contain energy. If you've ever been in an intense workout or a yoga class that was past your level, if you're teaching a class like that, there's a tendency for a lot of excessive and dramatic exhaling, maybe dramatic sighing and things like that. And what people don't realize is that in the excessive and dramatic sighing and exhaling, we're wasting a lot of energy. Instead of keeping the mouth shut, calming the mind, and just being in the workout or the practice or whatever you're doing, by containing the energy, we have more energy for whatever we need. in that pose or the whatever we're doing. So this whole idea of containing energy is so that we can become more powerful in other things. The father of coins redirects his energy so he can create mighty things, large buildings, cathedrals. Um, he can cultivate the land, build gardens and terraces. So it's through his restraining of energy, containing of energy, that he's able to use it in another way. And when I was rereading this morning, it's like, wow, this creator was dialed in. No wonder this is such a profound deck. So I want to expand on this whole idea. Now, this is a very advanced concept. It's something that not everybody can wrap their head around. It's kind of out there, and I've sat in lots of workshops discussing this particular principle with yoga teachers, with swamis and so forth. So I want to. So this card, what are we going to do with this card and this suit in general? This suit in general, in most decks, comes as the fourth suit. And as the fourth suit in the pattern of the Tetragrammaton, YHVH, it is a place of integration. It's a place where we have journeyed through the other three suits, and we've learned a lot of lessons, and things become manifest, suit of coins, therefore, but also our level of experience is much greater. And so this is one of my perceptions of the suit of pentacles in most decks. Hi, Jamie, welcome. And Deanna's here. Hi, Deanna. I'm not sure if I greeted you. Welcome. Okay, so there's that bit. However, in this particular deck, Margaret introduces, and I feel I should say Madame Petersen, no, Frau Petersen, introduces the coins first. And in this way, what I feel she is doing is giving us everything first. She's giving us all. And I just had this. Okay, so this is very much what Marie White is doing in her concept of the magician. So I've also, for those of you that aren't aware, I also did a series. There's a lot of videos on the Marielle Tarot. If you're interested, it's part of the members feature. So in this particular card, this is the Magician card from the Marielle Tarot. The Magician is in the abyss. Look at the black inside the cape. It's really kind of this is such a magical card. What I want to focus on here is the sacred geometry. This is the Metatron's cube. This is connected to the Tetragrammaton. And this particular, I'm going to say 5-dimensional shape, holds and contains all. It contains everything. And so in drawing a card that contains everything, it's an opportunity to begin fresh. It's an opportunity to plant a seed. It's just, it's so powerful. I don't know how I can find the words to describe what's going on in these cards. And so the Father of Coins, who is one who focuses. There is so much focus and energy. There's no wasted energy. Okay, so this is, it'd be really interesting to do a contrast and comparison with these two decks, because as I say that, I'm thinking about cards like this one, where the energy is so focused, and it is there is infinite potential in that energy due to the level of containment and focus. And so this is why the Father of the Father of Coins is able to build cathedrals. These are the I can just imagine an old movie like what were they called? One of those movies with Charlton Heston or something, where those men are building the Egyptian temples, or you can imagine the Great Wall being built, or one of the pyramids being constructed. It's through that containment of energy that anything is possible. So drawing the Father of Coins card is a reminder of that focus and what the potential of that focus is. To not get distracted, to keep your eye on the, I don't like to use, we need a better expression, keep your eye on the prize. And it's not about the end game. It's about the discipline of containing energy and not wasting energy. Now, you can take that in so many different ways, but that is the lesson of the Father of Coins. Now, she does talk about, well, what happens when he forgets? Because we all do. We all fall off the bandwagon, right? We all eat things we shouldn't eat. We get distracted. We lose focus. We yell at our kids unnecessarily. We waste energy in all kinds of ways. And so he says, and maybe this is one of the reasons of the decks that I have chosen to do deep dives of. I didn't spend very much time with the Primordial Tarot. And this is another deck where there's tremendous power and focus of energy. And that deck reminds me of the potential of this card. And he says that when he loses the ability to create, if you will, he kills. So that's why I was going to the Primordial Tarot, and I was thinking about that relationship. Sorry, I'm all over the place, but this is good stuff. The relationship between the animal and the hunter, and the process and the power with which that can happen. And if you think about the opposite side of that, how dangerous hunting can be when there is no lack of focus. So this court card is one of discipline. So the mother represents Gaia. She is all, she is within, she understands all situations. She is all that we touch, and she is deeply connected to the ace itself. Whereas the father has a different focus. And the son, I'm going to do the daughter next. The daughter and the son also are representative of yogic principles. The daughter herself is, I'm just thinking about other pages of coins. It's a very different energy. I don't think I could compare these courts to any court cards in any other deck. So the daughter, so you can see her, she is, there's a gem here as well too, which is beautiful. And we do see gems in various, the gem is symbolic also of contained energy and how much discipline it takes, right? The earth to press and to create a diamond. Let's use that as a metaphor. Okay. She is doing a tree pose. This is the story of the sadak or the sadhu, someone who is on a spiritual journey. We could call this also the card of the pilgrim, somebody who has enough discipline. She's learned this discipline from her mother and her father, and she is off on a spiritual quest. You could, if you were in, this is such a shamanic, well, when we get to the majors, this is such a shamanic element. You could compare, I was thinking just for a moment of another deck where this energy is represented, very different artwork, but in the Vision Quest Tarot. Okay. So she is on her perhaps first vision quest, but it doesn't sound like it's her first. It sounds like she's this is part of her chosen lifestyle, one of understanding the ascetic principles and how sometimes less is more. And it's through these experiences of pilgrimage with less that we develop and grow. It's a very mature perspective for a daughter, but it's because of the family from which she comes. She has been trained. She has been trained well. So I would connect this particular card to any of the other cards that show movement. But if I don't know, I kind of need to go back and look at all of the other journey cards in this deck and think about this theme. Let me go to the guidebook. I want to read you something. I spent 4 days in a cave. Through fasting and meditating, I cleared my mind. A rattle filled with crystals helped me to understand the memories and the language of my body. I remembered all the forms and shapes I once had. So she's talking about this vision that she had that took her in a flash through all of her lifetimes. And I mean, this is deep stuff. I am the daughter of the senses of consciousness, deeply immersed in the archaeology of my ancestral land. I went many ways in circles and spirals, and I experienced myself through the many layers of my being. So it also goes on that through this experience, she has the power to heal. And this would connect her to her mother, who also, of course, has the power to heal. And in this suit, we do see the energy of hands. This is a favorite card of mine. This, to me, I think about Usui Sensei and Reiki energy and the power, the stories that I've read about after the Great Kanto earthquake. Usui Sensei discovering that he was able to emit the light force energy through his feet as well as his hands and eyes and breath as well too. So we do get this healing component in many of the cards, and the importance of the physical body, and I want to say the slowness and the care of the physical body resonates throughout the whole suit. Hi, Andrew. Yes, it is. It is one of the best suits of the deck. It's deep. It's deep, 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 deep. Now, if we look in at the sun, he is sitting in a posture called Matsyendrasana. This is named after a sage, and it is a posture where you basically twist everything out of you. It's a really beautiful seated twisting pose. And he talks about breaking away his hardness and that he no longer carries the armor of his ancestry. So it feels as if his work is deeply connected. This might be a card. And I mean, this is so bizarre. You cannot, what am I going to say? So if I was to go to a Son of Coins in any other deck, what would would I be able to draw something in from that? Hmm. Maybe in the deepness of his reflection, perhaps, perhaps. But there's something more here. There's something more about his experience and all that he has learned from his mother and father and sister. This is the fourth court. So this is the order in which Margaret presents the court cards. So the order of development, the mother containing the potential of the family, and then there's a lot of interconnections between all of them. But this is the way that she presents the story. You're welcome, Selkie. It's lovely to have you here today. Thanks for joining us. Okay, let's go back to the sun. I wanted to share with you something here. So I was talking about armor. Sorry, I got distracted. I have taken off the armor of my forefathers, feeling my way towards the inside. I have begun to loosen up the hardness of my muscles. So what I was feeling with this particular, and also with this particular pose, is that there's a breaking down of the shell. You could associate this card with kind of the next step from the tower, for example, right? And think you might think of some other cards where there's a breaking down of a previous, and there's quite a few cards of containment in this deck, right? Created by the squares. And so this sun has found a way to break down the shell, to break down the container. My stereotypical world of ideas begins to dissolve. New connections are being made at the sacred bone at the end of my spine. So he's also found a way to listen to the teachings of his mother and understand that he has the potential for not ascension, enlightenment as well too. So he's becoming aware of his root chakra, and he's doing the work to heal the root chakra, to break down those barriers. So one of the shadows of the root chakra, and so this, right, so this suit is often associated with the root chakra, is that inability to be fluid, of moving in and out of our home, of our tribe. There's a lot of people that tend to, when they're 17, 18 years old, they run away and they never come back. Or if they do come back, it's not easy, it's very difficult. And so what he's doing here is there's a level of awareness of breaking down the walls of the armor of the traditions and the expectations, so that he can fluidly move in and out of his family and his tribe. Tamian says, it is interesting that she changes the energy waves to vertical in the sun. Yeah. And we see, right, there's this shield here. And it's perhaps even the shield is dissipating itself. His boundaries are shifting. So I want you to remember this card when you get a card with a lot of containment. This is the suit. This is the court. These are the courts that want you to. Sorry, I'm having a hard time finding words. So when you think about earth, we often think about it's fixed, it's solid, it's immovable. But the intention here is that this is the most elevated, this is the most integrated family of court. And they indeed are not fixed. They have been through all of the lessons of all of the suits. And it's from this experience that they are each finding their way to finding an ease with life. Okay. Whew. All right. I was not planning talking that long about these cards, but how could you not? Because this is, you know what? This is who I am. This is the stuff that I love, love, love. Let's go to the majors. Okay. So the purpose for today was to look at the energy of Earth and just to review all of that. And we can compare and contrast what I've just said with what is going on in the Earth cards in the major arcana to see if any or all of this is picked up here. And I want to say yes. So not only is there this shamanic theme is very strong in this suit, in this element. And you can see the Empress energy is one of very connected to the mother. So what we have here, we have all the mountains in the background. We have the reference to the yogic posture. We also have a sacral chakra connection. So an idea of an ascension of energy as well, too. You may see that as a flower. You might see that as a yoni. There's different things that you might see there. You might also see the burning fire of the cervix. I mean, there's lots of very cool things you could see in that picture. But it's powerful and it's mighty and it's transformative. And it is, yeah. I think more than anything, the element of earth cannot be contained in this suit, which is quite a different quality from, sorry, I need to drink water, from a deck where it focuses on the materialism and the qualities of the coins that are just about money. It's actually quite funny that she refers to this suit as coins because there's very little coin reference throughout all of this. Okay, so the other earth, we have Empress Hierophant. We talked a lot about this card. So powerful shamanic energy. The colors are also deeply connected to the colors of the court cards as well, too. And you can see that the relationship between the Hierophant and the Crone, and perhaps even the Crone and the Daughter of Coins. So we had a lovely discussion about this, and the sixes, the 3 6s and 9s. Gosh, we've had some great discussions, haven't we? But I can see the Daughter of Coins on her sacred pilgrimage, whatever language you want to use for that, deeply connected to the Crone energy. And if you were looking for Mother Maiden Crone energy, we've also got those sorts of symbols here. So one of the reasons I find this deck so mighty is that much like can I say this? Much like Waite or Crowley, perhaps I can say like Atea. I want to put Margaret Petersen at the level of like a grand master. I have no idea about her lifestyle or where she traveled or where she picked up on all of this information, but it's mind-blowing. And if you have studied or read about other, I'll use the term grandmasters, their level of knowledge is truly remarkable. The way that they're able to weave and wind all of these esoteric teachings together is truly profound. And I think this deck is right up there. So yes, I wanted to just to mention about the whole idea of the connection here with the notion of Maiden Mother Crone, but also pilgrimage. So these are two cards representing that energy as well too. Sorry, I'm just going deep in awe here. And these are your other earth cards. What can we say about this? The devil, I feel, is also deeply connected to these courts. So should they come up in a reading together, there's just so much movement of energy in all of these cards, which is, it's really atypical of a tarot deck to have so much movement of energy in an earth suit. This is like a swirling ball of potential, all of these cards. And this card, this element wants your greatness. It does. It's asking you to, and it's a sign of going further. All of them. All of these cards want your greatness. And there's so much movement of energy. What I was going to say with this, so the idea of, and also you could look at the relationship too with these two cards. I don't know if you can see what I see, but there's this, it's like we need to walk through the fire. I don't know what the expression is, but we need to walk through the flames to get to the other side. Both of these cards have tremendous fiery portals that are absolutely necessary to go through. And if you struggle to connect that to earthiness, think about ash. Think about ash, and how ash, what ash is representative of, and also how ash is also used in ritual, yogic, shamanic traditions. How ash is spread on the body as a symbol of transformation through fire. So, yeah, powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. Okay, so let's go back to the mother. The mother is the mother is all. The mother is earth. The mother is Gaia. And deep connection, I said, between mother and the ace, which hopefully will appear here somewhere. Just let me get all of these on the table, and then I'll carry on. 5, 3, there's your ace. Okay. Let's do this. Oh, that's such a beautiful 8. I don't want to go through everything that I've said or with all of these cards. But let's look at the ace, the 6, and the 10, kind of the journey through. And there are 2 predominant symbols in this suit. And one is of the coiling serpent, which I have alluded to, or not alluded to, I've spoken to before. And I find it uncanny that is the symbol here in the 10 of coins. So we start with the infinite potential. We talked about all kinds of things with this, and some people saw also perhaps a being walking through a portal of sorts, or that this perhaps represented a keyhole. But somehow this serpent shape transforms into a labyrinth in the 10th card. And the power of meditation, the power of labyrinth work is so very transformative. And this is perhaps, well, I'm kind of shaking my head. Why am I shaking my head? I'm shaking my head because when I think about other tarot decks, I think about, okay, so you go through the transformation of wands, the transformation of water, the transformation of earth. And then when we get into the suit of, you go through wands and water and air. And then when you get to the suit of earth, it's like a settling down. It's an time of integration. But in this deck, it's saying, no, the journey continues, my friend, and it's going to be bigger and bolder than ever. That's what I'm picking up on here. Also, let's get the princess, the daughter, out, because we also have a lovely connection of these two cards as well, too. So yeah, I love the way that Jamie describes the deck as deep and yummy. Yeah, that 6 of coins is just, it's absolutely gorgeous. What I was going to say next was that, I was talking about the pressure that is necessary to create a diamond. And we see this symbol in both of these cards. And as I was mentioning, this is very much a journey card. So if these two cards were to show up in a reading, then that is the direction that I, definitely would be going with the querent. It's, and isn't it interesting? It's so interesting. The feet in this suit, the hands as well too, but I feel like the feet and she mentions in one of the cards about feeling the pulse of the earth and slowly walking and experiencing life. And there's this full experience that the suit wants you to have, so that you can kind of level up in a way that you never even thought was possible. Okay. It's just wowza. Wowza, wowza, wowza. So I'm not sure where I'm going to go from here. However, this will not be the last Margaret Petersen video that I do. And I need to think about it. So next week, I'm going to switch gears, and we're going to go into the energy of the curanderas, the healers in the Herb-Crafters Tarot. And believe me, I will be bringing in lots of wisdom from other decks as well too, and trying to weave different teachings. And I look forward to that. And I'm going to sit now, and I'm going to think about another video for the Margaret Petersen, and for sure I will be attaching it to this playlist. So yeah, and I know there's a few people today that haven't been participating in the series, so that is available on my channel if you choose to join. And thank you all so much, those of you that have been here every week, and I've really enjoyed our discussion. And thanks to everybody who's commented after the fact, and we've had some great discussions after the videos have aired, so it's been great. All right. So have a lovely rest of your day. I'll see some of you later. I'm going to be doing a second part 2 of my initial impressions of the Forager's Daughter. And then I'll be live in the Facebook group later. Okay. Namaste, everybody. Take good care. Bye.